What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Views from the East. It's your boy Prada, ain't no one hotter, and we back with a brand new episode. And of course, as you guys can see from the description, we're going to be talking about a lot of accusations, false accusations, and things like that going on, especially dealing with our black males, particularly the more famous ones. Obviously, they get a little bit more light. But I felt this conversation was important to have because it happens so many times, and it happens to so many of us that it kind of falls on deaf words. But anyway, I have a bunch of people here on the podcast today. You might recognize them from the last episode. But enough of me running my mouth. Let's get right into it.
At this time, I'm going to ask you to fasten your seatbelts.
Look, I got a bust a move in this bitch. I got a bust a move in this bitch. I got the 2 3s in this bitch. I got the 2 3s. I paid a few G's on the kicks. I popped a few V's on the strip. Cause I got the 2 leads with the stick. I got a bust a move on a bitch. I got a bust a move on this.
All right, we back in the building. Gentlemen, welcome to the goddamn podcast. It's a pleasure. I am honored to have you guys here with me to have this dialogue. We got my guy Ammo in the building. Ammo, what's going on? How you feeling?
Yo, man, you know me, man. I can't complain. I'm always feeling good, man. And when I'm not, I'm still feeling good, brother.
Right. Maintaining. Yo, B, my guy B, looking like a ninja in the back of the Uber. What's going on, baby?
Not much. Live nice life, man.
Nice life? My man's out there in the jungle.
Yo.
And my guy Q, he's in the building, sharp as ever, beautiful lighting.
Thank you. Yo, I like my man's beat background, man. He's like action news. He's our crazy ninja in the field, killing the game, doing the reconnaissance, moving the ball, moving us down the down the line, helping us out.
Yeah, word.
Basically reporting live from the streets. My man is going to the scene. He going to the scene of the crime.
Yo, B, is she out there? Is she out there? Because she belongs to the streets.
Yo, I think so, bro. You out here right now?
Yeah. Oh shit. So before we even get into the conversation, listen, y'all don't want to waste too much time on this. Hit the subscribe, notification, hit the bells. You guys already know what to do with that. But with an added twist, if you guys do want to join the conversation, feel free to write us a comment, whether on YouTube, Facebook, wherever you're seeing this. Once we see it, we can add you to the conversation. We can add about 6 more people here. So don't be shy. Come in. Or if you don't want to do that, obviously share your thoughts with us in the comments and I can have that posted on the screen. Or if you have questions for us individually or as a group. So join the conversation. And with that being said, we might as well bring up, and I broke it down like this in cases, right? Because obviously this is a situation where everyone's in court. This is people's lives that are on the line. Jail time is involved for these type of crimes and things like that. So I thought we'd start with this one right here. I feel like this one was really, really, it's annoying. It's not the first time something like this has happened, but obviously Ryan Coogler. If you don't know who that is, I guess the easiest way to describe him is he is the director of Black Panther, right? Such an iconic movie, for the world, not just for the culture. Yes, for the culture, but I think for the world, it opened their eyes to what's possible when you just stop being ignorant. But obviously, he's a director of even of director of Creed as well. So if you enjoyed that movie, that's also who directed that. Yep. So just to kind of give the quick story, essentially, he was at the bank to withdraw, I believe it was $12,000 to pay one of his employees. And, he gives the teller, this note because it's not the best of neighborhoods. He's a rich person. He doesn't want everyone to know he has money. So he slides her a note and he says, hey, she's asking him all these questions. He's like, hey, just read the note. And while he's doing this, she's asking him for ID. He provides the ID. She asks for him to put in his card. He puts in the card, puts in the PIN. Everything is super verified. And he basically, she basically says, okay, just wait right here. Turns out she goes into the back, and she lets her manager know she's not comfortable with the situation. She's a little scared. He's possibly here to rob the bank. So according to the stories, is that the manager said, go ahead and call the police. So obviously the police shows up, and obviously, they think it's a bank robbery. So they come in, guns ready, and, and he gets arrested from that point on. And, obviously you guys know the rest. He gets pulled out, and I had the video, but, like I said, I think everyone has seen the video by now. But, again, a very annoying situation. And I think what really bothered me about the whole situation is the fact that listening to the videos and listening to the actual tapes of the teller being interviewed, basically she was saying, she didn't really even look at his name. She was just terrified because every time she asked him a question, he was just saying, just read the note. For me, as a bank teller, I go to the bank all the time for business deposits, personal deposits, and all of that. I think once a person provides you with their ID, they're putting in the card, they know the PIN. At some point, you have to have had looked at their name. And I understand not every celebrity is known, especially when it's a director. You're not usually the face of whatever you're creating. You're usually behind the scenes. Because had that been a Jay-Z or, someone of that nature where their face is really known, obviously that would have never happened. But I just felt it was just a little bit unprofessional, especially from the manager's aspect, to not even look at the name. And, the first reaction is to go call the cops. I just felt, one, you put his life in danger because, when the police showed up on the scene, they were pulling out guns, so fortunately for him, he was very calm in the situation. And, obviously he values his life. He could have been upset and he could have been, ignorant in the situation and started, flipping out, which he had the right to be. But obviously, he understood his life means a little bit more than that. But with all of that being said, what was your take on, anybody could sort of go with this. What was your take on the situation and how do you guys feel about that?
So let me go first.
I guess.
I think the bank teller really didn't. She didn't do her due diligence first and foremost, because he's telling you look at the note. He provided you his ID. He provided the PIN. His face on the ID. He told you his name, and he told you how much money he's trying to withdraw. So basically, when you pull up on the computer, you see how much money is in his account. So he can pull it out. But then you go to your manager, and then you tell your manager. So basically, you don't, because maybe I don't know if the teller was white. I'm not sure exactly what nationality the teller was from. But what's the reason? Because he's a black man, basically, or what's the reason why you went to your manager? What's the reason why you couldn't just see how much money's in the account and say, okay, sir? Because he handed you a note, and he didn't say I want to rob the bank. He said I want to withdraw the money from my account. That's what the note said. Because I seen the note. So basically, he's sending from his own personal account. So what was the problem? I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, so this what actually bothered me about it, right? So this is a bank in Atlanta, right? He's in Atlanta. Number one, he in Atlanta. Like, I can understand if he was in the sticks somewhere and they weren't used to this. If you read the note, the picture of the note that's circulating is a very clear message. There's nothing that states that he's hostile. He's making an attempt on to harm you or anything like that. It literally says, I would like to withdraw $12,000, and if you can please go to the back, count it out, and then hand me the envelope discreetly, that'd be cool. He handed you his ID, the bank card, did the PIN, did all of that. It went through the process. What gave you the impression that it was a bank robbery? Like, bank robberies, usually there's some form of like, oh, yeah, I know this, I'm getting robbed, because whether you have a gun or not, the note clearly states I'm robbing a bank. If I'm robbing a bank, it clearly says, yeah, this is a bank robbery, yada, yada, yada. You know what I'm saying? There was no reason for it to be mistaken as a bank robbery, especially in Atlanta. I don't even think that bank has a history of being robbed in that fashion. And that's the other thing. That bank, I don't think that bank had a history. The Bank of America, that particular branch, does it have a history of being robbed like that?
But that's the thing, Amo. Like, does it matter? My question is, does it matter? Like, who cares if you've been robbed 100,000 times? I don't care. If a guy puts his money in his bank account, in his bank, and he goes to take that money out, he has all the rights to do so. Like, the problem is not like whether or not they were scared or like you said, I could understand if it was a stick. No, you can't understand. There's nothing to understand, right? If this was somebody of another race, who knows? They probably would get a better. Would they get the same treatment? Would they get the cops called on, or would that lady take the extra seconds to say, "Hey, let me try to figure this out. Let me get my manager to try to figure this out." Even if it sounds like either she's racist or she's trash at her job. From what I hear, this is a person of color that was handling this. So, but again, racism doesn't come. Racism comes in every color, even your own shape. So, the bigger problem that I see with all of this is the image of the black man. Right, the image of the black man is still this. What do you call it? Lazy, non-working, on welfare. What do you call it? Street thug. That's just what do you call it? That's just
freeloading off the system.
That's feeding off the system, which is the furthest thing from the truth. All right, because 64% of black men are in the middle class. Okay, they're in the middle class. All right. 54% of black men are single and childless. Now, I'm not talking about babies. I'm talking about black men of age. Right. All right. So let's not get it twisted. What we have here is I don't know if anybody knows, but since the 90s, black men have been on the come up, right? And now we're starting to see all of these like really important black men starting to step through, like all of the guys that were like in the cut, in the lab, working on themselves, building themselves up. They're finally starting to hit. Right, Ryan Coogler. People forget he also directed Fruitvale Station, Creed, like Jimmy said earlier, and he also did Judas and the Black Messiah. Right?
Yeah, Judas and the Black Messiah. Yep. Really
like top tier level movies, right? And the only issue is here. He has the money. It's his money. He can do with it as he pleases. He put it down on a note. He says, "Yo, I don't want you." And a lot of people will say, "Oh, well, he should have known better." BS. I don't buy that. He should have He should have done exactly what he wants to do because it's his effing money. All right, it's his money. He's making the bank money by putting all of his millions in there because I think he has a net worth of 25 million. But what he wanted was to be inconspicuous. He didn't want a lot of people knowing that he was taking out 12 stacks. He said, "Count it in the back," because guess what? I don't want people knowing because I'm a mark, right? What happens if you go to the bank or if somebody knows that you have a lot of money on you? We're all from Brooklyn, New York, so we've all grew up in the hood. So you know what happens, right? You're a target. And he's like, "Oh, I'm trying not to be a target. I'm trying to do things the right way. It is my money. My card is in there. Everything is in there. But no, the first thing is to arrest the hoodlum, arrest the thug." It's something we as black men, like I see you, Jimmy, with the suit. I always try to dress nicely. We have to focus on our image. This is the most important thing, right? We've got to take the power back and keep doing podcasts like this, keep doing talks like this. We've got to dress up like we mean business, man. And I'm not saying this is for everybody, but you have to dress in a certain way that puts you in the game. And I'm not saying that's going to stop them. I'm not going to say that's going to stop them. But it is proven that your profile changes, right? I used to drive trucks back in the day, right? And one of the things that I learned from just that process was that if you're just driving a regular car, right, cops will stop you less often if, say, you have like plush toys in the background, right? If you have like little Buzz Lightyears or little teddy bears or whatever, and if you have like a little baby on board sticker. Like, and you know what's funny? When I did that, I stopped getting stopped by the cops. It's sad, but guess what? All of my like quote unquote, oh, you were going a little fast checks or you fit the description checks, what do you call it? They went out the window because you have to change your profile, right? And black men need to focus on this profile, this image that I'm talking about. Jimmy, you have the blazer on. You have this. You're the nicest looking one in the group today. What are your thoughts on that image?
I definitely agree with you on brand image, and you know, it's a really sad thing, right? And I'll say what's sad about it is, it's sad that we have to work on our image. Now, here's the other thing too: the way that I'll use me as the example. The way that I'm dressed in terms of a blazer and a button up, I don't think that belongs to a specific race. I'm just dressed casually. I'm business casual right now. And the fact that I have to put something like this on to walk into a business establishment so that the ignorant can differentiate this person is from the hood, the block, or this person, sure, they have they're black, but they're educated. They automatically assume, you're more educated, you're less dangerous. Their guards is a little bit less down, especially, one of the things that I hate hearing is you talk white. Again, speaking proper English and speaking appropriately is not something that's to a race. I'm just speaking regular. Yes, I understand this slang, and yes, I'm from Brooklyn, and I understand the way that I'm speaking on the podcast now may not be how I articulate myself with a few of my friends, but at the end of the day, that's slang and this is English. So it is kind of sad that, I have to be a certain way. And, to go to your point of vehicles that you drive, I've driven the best of the best throughout my life, right? And fortunately for me, I've never been pulled over. And if I have been pulled over, I was speeding, right? I'll own that. It's not like I was pulled over for nothing. So I'm not going to sit here and try to cry wolf or anything like that. But I know there's a lot of people that look like me that deal with that on a daily basis. Fortunately for me, I was never in that situation. However, and I understand there's criminals, but again, it shouldn't be tied down to a race thing. There's a ton of people driving with fake licenses and no insurance, and we probably just get caught more because we're targeted more. If the targeting was done evenly, I'm pretty sure that demographic, that those statistics would kind of spread out a little bit. But it is what it is, and unfortunately, because the world is the way that it is, we as black men, black women, have to be even extra careful. We have to work harder at our image. We have to make sure that when we step into a dealership to get a nice car, we may not get looked at before other clients that come in. And now we feel like we have to put up this whole facade and this whole show. And, we go in there, with this whole act in a sense like, hey, listen, I have money. I'm here to handle business. You're going to respect me. But it shouldn't even come down to that. I should be able to wear a pair of basketball shorts, some busted kicks, and a T-shirt, and walk into a Gucci store and, and say, hey, let me get 10 pairs without them thinking it's possible fraud, without them, so for me, it's always something that's going to be there. Unfortunately, as Q said, we have evolved, and we are, and to be honest, everyone sort of follows us, right? We influence everything else, our music, movies, and things like that. So
coolest what do you call it? Nation on the planet, coolest race of people on the planet. Period. No, we drive everything. Our music, we do. Our style, everything.
Sports, the number one athletes are, so it's unfortunate that we lead and we influence the world basically through who we are and our art. Yet we still come in last place. So in his case, and I actually found the note that you guys were referencing. So let me just kind of put that up there real quick. And this is basically the note, right? For me,
oh, look at that! Look at that! What is allotment?
His own account.
Yep.
So
it's from my checking account, it literally says.
I don't understand what was the problem here.
Why
all of this? Why call your manager when He didn't say from a checking account. He said from my checking account. Basically, because I'm sure once he puts in the card, he puts in the PIN, it comes up how much is in the. I don't know how the bank system works, how the computers work. What comes up? Because I've never been a teller, but I'm pretty sure it tells you how much is in his checking, how much is in his savings. If there's a CD, what does he have? It comes up. Because he provided you ID as well. When you tell me it was an issue that what was the problem? He had too much money in his account?
I mean,
I want to hear that justification why she went to the manager. What was the manager involvement? Why did the manager be called for? What was the reason?
Well,
did he pull a gun?
No.
I'm trying to figure it out. I'm confused.
Well, TMZ actually has like audio of her being interviewed. And that's why I kind of love TMZ because they get all the juice. But basically her excuse was every time she asked him a question, he would just say, hey, like refer to the note. But my thing is, if you take the time to actually, she I don't know what she did, but what she said, one key thing that she said, where obviously it was she didn't do her due diligence. She clearly said, I didn't really look at the name because she said she was so terrified at the situation. Now,
she was not terrified.
I would give her a little bit more. And from her voice, she sounds African American. So I could be wrong, but from the voice, it sounds like she's
it's not about. I'm not saying it's about race. I'm saying it's more of the fact that I don't know why the other issue. First of all, you're in Atlanta. So you demographics. Atlanta, when you go to the gas station, they tell you go with a I'm gonna say something in slang ghetto terms, go with a pole, go with your gun. Because they will try to take your car. They will try to take your car, they will rob you, they will try to kill you. This is what they sing about Atlanta. A man comes to you and tells you he needs $12,000 from his own account. Do you really think he's gonna publicize and put it out there that he needs $12,000 from his account? If it was me, I would do the same thing. I'm not gonna I would even whisper. I'm not gonna tell you I need $12,000 from my account. If you do that, you bring yourself a target automatically. You're a target because you just told how much money you have in your account. If I could pull $12,000 from my account, it's probably way more in there.
No, yeah, absolutely. And like I said, the reason I brought up that I think she's African American is because I want to sort of eliminate the race thing right off the bat with that. I think what it is now something that I love to do is I love to reason with people, right? Like I don't like to jump down people's throat. I try to put myself in their shoes and try to understand it. From what she was saying is like, there's just a guy, he comes in, he slides in a note. And if we've seen enough movies, it's actually happened in a movie. I just can't remember the specific, but slides in a note, says, hey,
it's happening in real life.
Read this note and whatever. But me, I'm going to read the note, right? And I'm going to see key things like my account, blah, blah, blah. The thing that kills me, she says she didn't look at his name or anything. Okay. But you asked him for his ID. What did you take his ID for? You asked him for his debit card to put the card in to enter the PIN, which he did.
And he complied. That's the thing. He complied. He presented, he gave the ID. He gave the bank card. What is giving you the impression you're robbing a bank? If I'm giving you ID, and then I'm pretty sure when he presented the ID, she probably let me remove the mask for a second just to see his face and see if it matched the ID. Like, come on, like there's like he said, there's really no excuse. But to play devil's advocate, the only reason I would see the manager being called upon is because the amount was over $10,000. That's it. You're in the bank, you're in a regular bank, and you're trying to take out more than $10,000. Yeah, the manager must be notified, and that's it. It's that simple. There's no way. That is the only point in which I got to call the manager. That is it, because I took out more than $10,000. Period. There's nothing else that was fishy about it. The note was clear. ID was given. Even the bank card. You have his bank card. You can literally check the account.
They got first off disciplinary actions to both the manager and the teller. Period. I'm not saying get fired.
Well, they already resolved it. They already resolved it, though. They already resolved the issue. Yeah,
what did they get? What happened?
Well, he said they handled the matter privately and it was already resolved because this happened back in January. This happened all the way back in January, and we're just now getting the the gist of it because all right, obviously they resolved it. You know what I'm saying?
But what about the cops that pulled out their Glocks? What do you call it?
That's a whole nother thing. That's a administrative correction. That's something that they got to go back and go. Listen, if I was told that the bank is being robbed and I'm a cop, guess what? That's how they show up. And it's not. I can't even blame the cops on this one. You know what I'm saying? When they arrive, you know what I'm saying? When they arrive, they arriving on the information that they receive from inside.
This is true.
You know what I'm saying? So you can't blame them. This ain't let's bash police thing. Nah, you can't even blame them. They was told by somebody else what was going on and they showed up prepared for that particular situation.
How does anybody know how it came out? Because I'm interested to know if it happened back in January, which is news to me. Yeah. Like, does anybody know how it came out? Or did the cops, somebody just leak it?
It's a good question. TMC found out.
You talking about the body cam footage?
Yeah, the body cam, man. Yeah. How did it come out? Because like if they handled it quote unquote privately, somebody must have leaked that. Because Ryan Coogler wasn't talking about it, obviously.
Yeah, you didn't talk about it until he was approached. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Listen, man. I mean, again, like I'm saying, man, we as black men, man, gotta be doubly on point with how we looked at and how we perceive ourselves. Mm-hmm. It's gotta we gotta like take like what do you call it, be on point with that, because trust me, like if 10,000 of us get together and really start moving and start getting our monies right, and just start getting our shit right and start dressing appropriately, because no matter what you say, like we can say, oh, I wish we lived in a world where this, that, third. That ain't never gonna happen. Okay. In reality, none of that happens. This ain't a movie. Okay. We gotta work within whatever the confines of this goofy system it is, right? If it's what do you call it? Like, if we're going to be in America for the rest of our lives or for the foreseeable future, we got to figure out the best way to protect ourselves. Best way to protect yourself is to dress better, act better. Move to attaining some type of power, right? Meaning getting your money right, dealing with people who have the right mindsets, and trying to attain things. Because the more you attain, the more you can you can start changing. The more power you can have, the more you can start changing laws so that these things don't happen. So that black men in Atlanta, which is basically Blackistan. Me and Amo just took a trip to Atlanta in November to see a show. Blackistan. You should know. Okay, cool. There are individuals who are going to make money, who are going to take out large sums of money that you don't have to call the cops every time, especially if you don't understand something.
Oh yeah, I agree, man. I mean, and to kind of speak to what you're saying, I felt like Ryan handled that situation beautifully. Like, although in a situation like that, you just hear a Glock being drawn behind your back, he was just like, look, man, he just understood. And this is this is something that I think for our culture to really understand. I understand we're targeted for a lot of things and we're innocent, but sometimes that initial reaction we've seen it. Obviously, we don't need to see it anymore, but we've seen where that leads, where they use that as the ammunition. They use it as the excuse. Hey, the way that the person reacted, they were hostile. We didn't know what they were going to do, the way that they were moving. He immediately aware of the situation, even if that would have gotten anybody, feeling a certain way to hear, seeing cops surround you, hearing guns being drawn, and you're a black person and your face is covered with a mask and you have shades on. The way he handled himself, I think that part is also important, where we also have to learn that we are already targeted. The last thing we need to do now, and we understand, I'm not saying it's not within your right, but live to fight for tomorrow. Live to fight to see another day. Absolutely. Understanding that, this is a fucked up situation and you guys are assholes, but I'm going to get you tomorrow. I'm going to get my lawyers. Because if I react, I put my hand in my pocket, I do anything, guess what? It doesn't matter the fact that after the fact, I was innocent, that I had nothing on me, that they were here for the wrong reasons. I'm no longer here to enjoy my life. I'm no longer here for my family, my friends, and things like that. So I love the way that he reacted because he knew he was innocent. He knew it wasn't worth. Obviously he shows his frustration later on. He's like, listen, look at my work badge on my waist. Google me. He's like, look, and he was talking to the cop. He's like, listen, black man to black man. Like, I don't want you to look crazy doing your job. I don't want you to get in trouble. Like, look, Google me, and you're gonna understand why you need to take these cuffs off. And he didn't say it in a cocky, like I'm a celebrity, take this shit. Like, he was just like, look, like, do your homework. Look, really look at who I am. Understand that I am worth 25 million. He was saying that in the most humble way. Like, listen, I'm just here taking out this money to pay an employee. She likes to get paid in cash. So again, I agree with you, Amo. The cops aren't at fault. And this isn't a cop bashing thing. They arrived with the information they were given. It is what it is. And obviously we're in a pandemic. We wear masks. So it's not like someone could identify him from the face. Like, wait a minute. Come on, man. He's not robbing a bank. This is who directed Black Panther. This is who directed Creed. This is who, someone would have recognized them off the back. So I don't want to get into the cop bashing thing, but it was funny in that video. The cops spent a lot of time trying to say, hey, you understand why we approach you the way that we approach. They did a lot of that. Hey, like, don't come after us. Don't sue us.
Good. That's the body cams. Thank God for the body cams.
Yeah. And, and the thing that he was more interested in was he wanted to know who called the cops. I need to know who called the cops and said I was robbing a bank and everything. And he said, he spoke to Bank of America and they worked it all out. They better work it all out because, like you said, his millions is in there, which helps them make more money. So I feel personally, I don't, everyone has a family to provide for and, and everything like that. But listen, his life was on the line. And I think the teller, the manager should be terminated.
100%.
The teller, going to the manager and letting him know about the situation. I get it. Maybe she was immature. It was stupid. If this was maybe pre-pandemic and he had on the mask and everything, maybe I would understand her a little bit more. But she took it to the manager, and as a manager, and I manage a business myself, it's my job to assess the situation, look at all the facts in front of me. Okay, who is this guy? Let me pull him up on the camera. Let's see who he is. Let's look up his name. Who is this guy? You get what I'm saying? Due diligence should have been done on a high level. The fact that the first thing was like, hey, call the cops without even looking at his name or anything. The manager, and I hope Bank of America handled that because I don't even think this is the first time Bank of America has been accused of a situation like this anyway. I feel like Bank of America employee was involved in a similar situation. So that manager, I don't know, shouldn't be a manager anymore. The teller, I don't, for her, maybe they're a little bit more lax, but the manager definitely did a terrible job in that situation. And hopefully the solution was him losing his job. And hopefully, they gave our boy a better interest rate on his savings account or something like that. They did something. They did something to man.
I hope so. Yeah, they did something. They did something. They
don't go to Chase. Don't go to Chase.
Don't go to Chase.
Shout out to Chase. You see the Navy.
I don't mess with Bank of America either way because what do you call it? They're part of that whole 92 million that Haiti had to pay out. What do you call it? After they beat France in the slave revolt. So as a principal, I just don't.
Hey Kevin,
not that it matters, but I don't.
Episode on YouTube. Sorry guys, Kevin, you can find the episode on YouTube or you can look at it on the Facebook page. My apologies, I saw the comment a little late. Just want to address the comments real quick.
No, you good. You good.
My boy Passion, he said Jussie Smollett. we gonna get it. You know what? That gives us a perfect segue. Let's get right into the next guy at hand here. Man, who wants to take the stage with this guy?
I'll do it, man. I'll do it.
You gonna take care of him? You gonna take care of him?
Yeah, I got next. Next one.
All right, so. All right. Okay. So my man Jussie Smollett, you know what I'm saying?
Isn't that what Chappelle called him?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, man.
He was listen. He was doing listen. The man was doing good, man. Whether it was a like they said a PR stunt to get more publicity. I think he was set up well, right? And then now the sentencing is coming, and he's like, what he's saying is that because he's black, he's gonna go to jail. No, dude, you falsified a beating, that went viral nationally. You know what I'm saying? You have people that was feeling compassion for you, and you basically what was that? You cried wolf, and guess what? The wolf is getting you now. You know what I'm saying? The wolf is out. He getting you, and you're gonna have to eat that. Whether you get a year, I don't think he's gonna get like serious time. You know what I'm saying? They're definitely gonna try and push for as much time as they possibly could get, just to set an example. And because he is a celebrity and he's out there, but your burden. Your penalty is going to be greater than the average citizen because you are a celebrity, and that's not nothing to do with it's unfair. It's very fair. You know what I'm saying? You're an example. People look to you. You know, you have people following you that keep up to they keep up with your lifestyle. They keep up with your example. They're following you. You were on a television show that was like very popular, that was getting the views, that was promoting our culture and telling a story. No matter if it was a fictitious story, but it was still a story that people, it resonated with the people. You were a musician. You come from a family of a lot of good, actors and actresses, and they're doing a lot. And for you to, even go out there and post something like that, and then when they get you and they want to penalize you for it, you're like, nah, they're gonna over penalize me because I'm black. You can't pull. I'm tired of people pulling that card, especially in a circumstance where that's not it's not viable. Even if they are targeting you because you are black, my man, you put yourself in a situation. We didn't put you there. You put yourself in a situation, and you have to eat it. You got to eat that. You know what I'm saying? No ands, ifs, or buts about it.
Yo, B, I know you said you wanted to go next on that, but for the audience, for those, I thought this was important just to have up here to show exactly what he was charged with, right? So we'll put that on the screen real quick. Your boy is hilarious. I'm mad they use like a clean Empire pick for this, but
yeah,
obviously, telling police officer he was a hate crime victim, telling officer he was a battery victim, telling detective he was a hate crime victim, telling detective he was a battery victim. All of this nonsense.
It was 9 counts in total, right? Out of 9 counts out of what?
I don't even know to be 100% accurate, but you know what? Let me see if I have this video here, because I thought this was kind of like oh man, I don't have the audio clip. How sad. Had I had it, what you guys would have.
The one from the other day?
No, TMZ has it. So listen, a lot of stuff that I'm referencing, you guys can go to TMZ and then you'll see the footage of it. But basically, him in the courtroom, the judge is asking him like, hey, do you have anything you want to say or whatever? And he goes to say, I'm not suicidal, so if anything happens to him in jail, it was someone that did it. He didn't do it to himself. I just felt like, dude, where's the ownership? Where's the listen, you lied. It is what it is, but you're making it far worse when you sit in there and now you're trying to pull the black cards, right? And here's my thing. For the people, what you're doing is you're ruining it for the people that actually need that card, for the people that actually need to pull that card. So now when there is a true victim of something, now it's going to be even harder for them to even prove that, especially if they have little evidence, because you're sitting up here, you're putting up the black fists. When you're walking out of a courtroom, you're doing all of this. You're saying you're not suicidal. I guess he was referring to, I'm not gonna even say his name on this
I
pod,
think,
but you know,
oh, okay.
you can say it if you want, but you know, dude, no one is you don't got those kind of secrets. Nobody's coming after you.
Yeah.
But I just felt like him pulling the black card, you know, saying that, you know, he brought to light, you know, something that we was ashamed of as a black people for 400 years, the LGBT community.
Yeah.
You know, he brought things to the light that people are uncomfortable with. So because of that, you think something's gonna listen, bro. Like you said, Ammo. I don't know why you listen. I enjoyed Empire.
Yeah.
I stopped watching it towards the end because I don't know what happened, but that was my show, man. And he was one of the actors on there. I felt the most talented. Didn't he actually get a record deal from Columbia or something like that? Dealing with the show.
Yes, they had to. I believe they had to separate themselves because of this incident. You know what I'm saying? You had everything lined up.
It's stupid. So for me, it's like you do all of this and such a great show, and it's like, damn, like and I'm looking at it from a black man's perspective, like, damn, you had something there and you threw that shit away for what? You didn't need 5 seconds of fame. You're on a very popular show.
Yeah.
You got a record deal, which and his music, he's talented. I actually listened to some of his music. I became a fan through it. You know, and just to see him throw that shit away for what, you know, just now to be doing what he's doing in the courtroom, to me, that was a little distasteful. I was like, listen, leave that for the people that actually need it. You got caught lying, you have to do the time. And I believe, to answer your other question, he's serving like 150 days, which is light.
What?
150 days.
That's
so
That's like 2 months.
you know, so obviously he ain't built for it. So
it's like 5 months, right?
Yeah,
it's a half a year, man. Yeah, about 5 months, man.
That's not that long. It's like 2 months. 2 months stops. You can be able 2 months stops. You get out.
I'll pass it to you, B. What were your thoughts, man?
I feel like as a black man that we go through so much. You degraded yourself down to that level for what? You lied. You paid 2 people to beat you up, then lie about it. And it's like you didn't pay them good enough for them to lie to take the charges if it comes down to it. As soon as they got caught, the first thing they did is say, "You paid me. He made me do it."
Yep.
Like what's wrong with? What was your logic? What was your mindset towards that? Why would you do that? There's people out here that's getting really beat up for their skin tone, for their demographic, for who they are. It's because they're black, they're white. It's because they're Italians, because they're Jewish. It's because they're gay. It's because they're lesbians. Because they're transgender. People are really getting beat up for this, and you took it for your personal gain, and you try to use it. And then when you try to use it, it backfired, and now you stuck looking like a fool. So you decided to make yourself look like more of a fool in the courtroom. Now the judge is looking at you like what's wrong with you? And the judges didn't do enough. They gave you the least amount of jail time they can get you, because they could have gave you way more, a lot more. They gave you a little bit of jail time, but good behavior you get out probably in 2 months, probably less than that. You could probably talk them down. Your lawyer can negotiate and get you ankle mounted and get your house arrest if they wanted to. But you sitting there and you thinking, oh, you're a victim. Oh, they're against you. Oh, if I die, I'm not suicidal. Who are you for them to worry about you? What are you? You will start empire, bro. You ain't do much. You ain't do much for them to care what you do.
My man got the black
don't really
book.
care about you.
He got the black book.
What?
Yo, B's right, man. Who are you? And the problem is it's not that like what do you call it? Don't get me wrong. It's been a hot mess from the beginning of this situation. From when I first heard it, it didn't make any sense to me. I'm like, we got what do you call it? Racist people, hood rats, or what do you call it? Racist people hunting hood dudes. What do you call it? With MAGA hats in Chicago. I'm like, they literally filmed Batman in Chicago to show how rough it is out there. Like, I'm like, made no sense whatsoever. The problem with this dude is not only did he lie and he's ruining it for all black people, but like B said, who are you? Like what he is a narcissist. That's who he is, you know. And I hate it when people use that because that's like I feel like narcissist is like one of those buzzwords that everybody use. But that dude is a narcissist. He thinks he's more important than anything else. He thinks that his lies are doing something. When all he's doing is he's hurting the image of black men and gay men all together, all around. Like he's a poor representative for blacks, and a really poor representative for gay people. Because now that leaves the door open for other ignorant people to be like, you see. This is how they all act. See, this is how all gay people act. You can't trust any of them. You know, like you gotta be like again with him. Something's wrong with him. He thinks that like okay, somebody's going to something's going to happen within the 5 months. There that I'm not I'm not suicidal, bro. Get him out of here. Throw him in the garbage, man. Unless he can show some type of empathy and some type of like, okay, cool, I messed up, I want to change, and stop lying to himself and stop lying to everybody. I don't want to get him out, throw him out. Let's trade him in for somebody else, man. We got plenty of other beautiful black people that we want. We could give that one back. He's trash. He's garbage. He's garbage. He's not even that talented. I mean, he is talented, but come on, man. Get out of here. He thought he said, I'm the black gay Tupac. That's what he wanted to be. He wanted to be this icon. Get the hell out of here, man. Get out of here.
The black gay Tupac.
Yeah,
he's not on Tupac's level. Let's not even talk about that. He's not on Tupac's level.
He's nowhere near Tupac. Tupac is a legend, dude.
He's not even near Elton John. Elton John's a famous gay man. He's not even near that.
Bro, nowhere near Elton John, and I love Elton John. Elton John's the man. Benny and the Jets, baby. That's my Jets.
Of course.
So we're good. We're gonna put him. We not claiming him basically.
No. We can't. He's not mine. I'm not claiming him.
We could trade him someone else. We could trade him.
Yo, who we trading him for? Let's go. Yo, let's go. Who we want? Who we trading him for?
Who we trading him for?
Who we trading him in for?
We could trade him in. We could trade him in for this guy right here, man. This is my guy today. This is case 3 here, man.
We can't trade him. He's already part of us. We can't trade him for that.
Hold on. I'm happy for this guy. I'm happy for him, man. And the reason I'm happy for this guy is he's found not guilty, right? So let's get into that. Well, I mean for the first part, he still has to deal with I think like the smaller cases, the smaller accusations that's against him.
22 civil lawsuits. But if he's found not guilty of criminal charges, he could beat the civil lawsuits.
No. Yeah, he beat the biggest case.
Civil lawsuits.
Well, but you gotta remember too. This is only
above jail time.
He only went in court in Texas. He still has to go. He's still up for criminal charges in Arizona, and 2 other states where the other massage therapists.
They're gonna dismiss. They're only dismiss if Texas.
They only dismiss here.
Texas let you go.
Yeah, Texas. Yeah.
If Texas let you go, remember Texas is a state that's known for criminalizing people of those nature. They say so claiming what he did that he didn't really do. So basically, Texas likes to criminalize people of that nature.
Yeah. And
did Texas let you go? They have less evidence than Texas, and he lives in Texas. So basically, all the massage therapists he was getting off Instagram, off Facebook, off Craigslist, they were coming from Texas because he spent all his time in Texas.
Yeah.
So now, so basically, this is how I see this whole situation with Deshaun Watson. All this came to light as soon as he said he wanted to trade from Texas. So when he said he wanted to trade from the Texans, the floodgates get open. That means all this was, if he shut up and stayed with the team and has been a good quarterback like they wanted him to be, not say anything, none of this ever came to light. Because it wasn't coming to light. All of a sudden, 22 mysterious women just pop up. He was getting massages and doing weird things to them. Where were they before the trade was talking?
Yeah,
and
that's
now
right.
he's
Yep.
and he's still saying he still wants to be traded.
Mm-hmm.
And now there's 2 states still left.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this the free
This
agency week,
something
right?
ain't right.
This the week for free. Is it next week? Free
Yeah.
agency is right around the corner, right?
Monday,
And that's when he gets to do the trade. Yeah. The man
No,
is.
actually,
They're trying to stop his shine. Is that what's happening?
Yeah, it seems
they're not
that way.
trying to. They did.
Yeah.
They did.
Yeah.
Because he spent all that shit not playing. So
That's
basically,
crazy.
and last year the Texans he lost so much money not playing last year. The Texans had him last year, they would have did something nice. He is an amazing quarterback.
Wow.
So Emma, how you feeling on the situation? Let me get your take.
So,
Can you break down what happened? Because I'm not familiar with the case.
okay, so, apparently, this gentleman, Mr. Watson, quarterback, for the Houston Texans, right? Likes to go get massages or likes to call the people, Instagram models, all that to get massages. He don't go to professional parlors apparently, but then all these charges started coming out. Like you said, it's trade season, it's trade deadline, trade season, contract talk. All of a sudden, what it started out with 3 or 4, a few girls came out, and then they started looking.
A former team trainer. She was the first one that said he did something. Then she recanted. She said nothing really happened, and she still thinks nothing happened.
Yeah.
After that, a bunch of women just
a bunch of people. Yeah, just all of a sudden, women started popping out of women. Yep. Yeah.
But this is what led to this matter. As soon as they traded JJ Watts, they released JJ Watts, traded Deshaun Hopkins to the Arizona Cardinals.
Yep.
Then he said, okay. Then they didn't pick the coach he wanted, and they didn't get his quarterback coach that he wanted. Right after that happened, he said, you know what? Because he has a no trade clause, but he could decide to be traded. He said, you know what? I want to trade. So when he said, I want to trade, one woman,
hell broke loose.
2 women, 3.
Yep.
All hell broke. Like 22 women showed out of nowhere. And everybody always says the same thing. Once you play in Texas, it does one thing to you. Do not ask for a trade. Wait until they get rid of you. If you ask for a trade in Texas, they will mess your career up on purpose because this is what they're known for. Mm-hmm. They like to ruin careers because if I can't have you, no one else.
Nobody can have you.
Because remember, he's a top tier quarterback. With a strong arm, he's fast, he's strong. He's a top tier quarterback. It
speaks a lot to the culture of sports. You know what I'm saying? Here's a man that he's a representative of your team. He's on your team, and these allegations start coming, and you're like, wait, hold on. I get it. There are legal steps you have to take to separate yourself from this person, but instead of just getting behind him and just going, listen, he ain't do this. We behind him 100%. The man gonna play. Let him play. We gonna take care of business and do what we need to do to get this chip. Y'all was like, nah, we gotta separate ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Especially in this era after the whole Me Too thing, and it's sad that you gotta go through these hoops. You got to jump through these hoops when it comes to these kind of allegations. You know what I'm saying? Because sexual misconduct that's not rape or nothing like that. That's what was it? He was feeling on himself while you're getting a massage. Like seriously, like come on. This is what we talking about to derail what was it? $150 million contract. Like,
mind you, with no proof. Mind you, no proof that he ever did anything.
Yeah.
No evidence. They're just saying he did it in a room with them. So, because as a woman, he probably did do it. He's a black man. He did do it. And mind you, the team never traded him.
Never got
rid of him.
Yep.
He's still part of the team. But why that was going on? Because that went on. He's tainted. Mm-hmm. No team wants him. So now basically, if no team wants you, you're mine. You have to stay here. That's basically that's what they're trying to do. if I make you unappeasing to every other football team in the NFL, I can keep you and have you stay with me forever.
I
I'm not
doubt.
thinking you ruining the man's life during this whole thing.
Yep.
I doubt. I highly doubt he's gonna stay. Like you said, free agency is coming up.
Oh no,
The
he's trying
fact
to
that
leave. No, he still want to
yeah,
leave. He still want to leave.
and the fact that he's not guilty in this aspect of it,
Mm-hmm.
that opened that's great news, because had he been found guilty, obviously yes, the doors shut on you quick. But because he was found not guilty, there's hope for him. Yes, he has like those other cases as well, like you mentioned, but he can definitely leave. And there's a lot of teams out there that need a quarterback of his caliber. And I think a lot of the owners are just kind of waiting to see how the rest of it play out, but don't think that they don't have their eyes on him. So,
Yep.
I understand that the Texans, it is, we are going to do the conspiracy thing, because it's true. Like, if all of this was going on all this time, what took so long? So, it is what it is. I'm just happy that,
Yeah.
you know what? It's sad. It's not that I'm happy. I'm relieved.
Really, yeah, there you go.
Maybe as a black man, I'm relieved that, okay, because it's like that thing where you with your kids, right? And your kids, and you in a public place, and you hoping your kids don't do something that embarrass you. So it's like sort of like that feeling, like, oh man, yeah, she ain't do what she usually do in this situation, So I felt more relieved, like, yes, not guilty, like, for all the things that he's being accused of. And it's all these women that are coming out. And again, this is important, and this is for all women out there, for women that are actually being assaulted, and for women that are actually going through things. It sucks that there are other women that you would think would understand that situation more than anyone else, that are trying to use it for a financial gain, not caring about what it does to the person that you're accusing of destroying their career. All you see is dollar signs, and you see an opportunity. And it sucks, because there's actual women out there that are actually dealing with the situation. And now when they come to light, and if they, for the brave ones, because there's a lot of people that don't come to the light because they're terrified of things, and it's a lot to deal with. And there's, we're not going to shame them for that. I hope more and more of them do come out, so the monsters do get put away. But, you ruin it for them when you're doing stuff like that. So it was good to kind of see a guy get a win. And listen, they need to, I don't know what law they need to implement a serious law. When you drop an accusation like that, and it comes out that it isn't the case, that person needs to do some serious jail time. I think if they implemented something like that,
I agree.
it would cut that down, because you have to start protecting celebrities. Listen, you have to know by now to protect yourself. You need to start having consent forms. You need to have cameras everywhere. You need to have something to protect yourself, because now, listen, everyone looks at you as a come up. You have money. They need to, if you're not willingly giving them that money, they're going to look for a way to get it out of you, especially when they find out who you are. So, but on top of that, as human beings, we shouldn't even have to, like, because I'm successful, now I have to do all this added layer of security. Like, someone is going to try to piss me off, because if I hit them, they can sue me, and all of these different things. So there needs, but specifically with this, because this is a serious situation, when a woman or a male comes out, and it comes out that they were lying, they need to do jail time. And I'm not talking about no 150 days. Like, they need to do like 2 years, 3 years, because too many innocent people have gone to jail for this. Too many innocent people have died because of accusations like this.
Yeah.
So we need to put in some sort of law that hinders this nonsense, where it's like, yo, listen, okay, if you're really willing to accuse me, that means you're willing to put your life on the line. You're willing to throw 2, 3, 4 years away of your life at a minimum to try to get away with this, because it's like, okay, I lied. He didn't do this to me. Okay, what happens? A slap on the wrist, So for me, I just feel like that aspect is important. They need to be penalized, man, because it's not a joke. There's people really dealing with that shit in the real world, and the fact that you just get to walk away after ruining a person's life, and even if they come out not guilty, like you guys are saying, his image is tainted with that crap now. You know,
Yeah.
so Q, like, what are your thoughts on this? How you feeling about this?
Well, thank you. I think first off, everybody, hands up. Oh, what do you call it? I love all your points, right? And Jimmy, I'm gonna second that, but I would say instead of 2-3 years, put you under the jail for five years, but like real jail too, real jail, because. And I'm not just going to say it's a woman thing, because there are a lot of statistics. There are statistics of a large amount of men who what do you call it, who have been assaulted in that manner. I don't want to say the R word because I don't want to ding the platform, because we are
There
on
you
YouTube.
go.
But there are a lot of men that go through that and have gone through that, and they never say anything. Actually, the statistics for men that go unreported for being victimized that way is super high. But as many are taught, well, you gotta tough it out. And again, that is part of, I guess, the male mindset. Tough it out. Like, I know people who personally have dealt with it, on both sides of it, and it is probably one of the worst things. I mean, we have the whole civil rights movement um, came out because of Emmett Till, right? Because some what do you call it? The same white woman said that, well, he was whistling at me and he was trying to talk to me and whatever, and he didn't even touch them. He didn't even touch any of the girls, and that came out to be a lie later. Because she, on her deathbed 2 weeks before, or a month before she passed away, she said, well, that was a lie. I didn't mean that. But that just started the whole civil rights movement, right? Because Emmett Till's mom was a G and whatnot. But that kid had to die because of that. There are men who lived, who were in prison for years, majority of their lives, and thanks to DNA, finally came DNA technology that came out that exonerated these men. Like, they were finally able to see the light of day. Just a recent story I heard, the woman that wrote the Lovely Bones, Alice something, I forget what her name was. She accused a black man, of abusing her in that way, and that dude went away to jail for, I think, 8 years. And again, she came and she said, "Well, I don't remember." She says, you just look like the guy that did it," and blah blah blah. This dude lost 8 years or whatever the amount. Please, in the anybody knows what the actual number is, put it in the comments. But this dude lost time, years out of his life, because because somebody lied or thought it was something else, something that it wasn't. This is a woman that wrote a book in The Lovely Bones, wrote a book about a person, stalking and abusing a young girl. Like, dude, like, that's crazy, and it was referred to that because she had an experience like that. Come to find out, that experience was false. So I have no love for liars. All right, I have no love. I definitely have no love for liars that put other people's lives in danger. And I really have a problem of people putting black men in prison. Now, I'm not saying that all of these dudes are innocent, but I'm saying there's a significant amount of people who have been exonerated that are black and that have been used along history as, oh, this guy he's a deviant, he's a sexual deviant, and all of that. And again, goes to what I've said from the beginning: the image of black men is so ran through the mud that even our women talk greasy about us. We gotta learn. Guys gotta learn to be smarter. And you're right, Jimmy, when you say that, I'm relieved when you said that you were relieved, but it sucks that you have to deal with it. That black men have to deal with it. We just gotta be smarter. We gotta be smarter. We gotta look at ourselves in a higher esteem that I look at it when they say black men are kings. I see black men as kings. Like, you gentlemen here in the panel, I don't know you well, but I can see that you're a serious guy. Like, I view you guys as kings because I see you guys work every day, grinding it out, making it happen. Family men, loving their families, trying to do things to uplift their community. Just this podcast is whoever it hits, it means something. We got to have these conversations. So like, when it comes to people lying on us. We've always been the scapegoat, right? We've always been the easy targets. But now we can't. Now we're not. Now everybody's elevating, right? And black men like this brother right here, I don't know the whole story, so I can't speak. That's why I'm like not trying to speak too much of it. But I know it. Like it's not even it was misconduct. BS misconduct. Nothing wrong with getting. Listen, if anybody else does it, if any other race of man does it, it's fine. It's cool. It's just some fun. It's just the extracurriculars. He's he's a little bit freaky or whatever. But if it's a black dude, oh, it's an issue. It's an issue. He's the target. Gentlemen, don't be the target. Be smarter. Do better. I put it on black men. I don't put it on anybody else. I put it on us to do better.
Protect yourself.
That's all I have to say on that.
Protect yourself. And since we're talking about pressing charges, how I do feel accusers, when they are lying, should be put under the jail. And this next case right here, and obviously this gentleman here is no stranger.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh no, this time, don't say oh God. This time he's innocent. He didn't do nothing.
He's innocent. Yeah, he 100% innocent. Yeah.
Chris Breezy.
So our boy right here.
Yo, why you pick that picture?
Because he's confused. That's the I'm confused face.
Oh, I got you. That's good. That's good. I like it.
I'm confused on how I get accused of raping you when I have receipts of you.
R word.
Don't use the R word.
Don't use the R word.
Yeah. Just say R word.
Excuse me. R word.
The assault.
How you accuse me of the R word? Assaults.
Yeah.
And then you harassing me, calling me, and leaving me voicemails about how nice of a time we had together. You enjoy that time, you wish you can have it again. But when I ghost you, you're mad because I took your what's that word? There's a word for it they use. It's just a word. I forgot the word. But
what's the word?
Virginity?
No.
No, that's virginity.
Oh, because we know she ain't no virgin, right?
Yeah.
Like her specialness. He took your special gift, and then he ghosted you. So you're mad about he ghosted you. So because he ghosted you, it's a problem now.
You see, I like what you said. Yo, B, I like what you said. I like what you said in the beginning, right? So you coming after me, but I got receipts. You know what I'm saying? The man he got receipts that literally text messages, voicemail that exonerates him 100%. You know what I'm saying? So my man is no stranger to controversy. It seemed to follow him, and I think that's my problem with us as a people, right? I think that's what my problem is. Like, you get to a certain level, right? You have to change the behavior. You have to change your behavior. If I'm on your level, I'm at that top tier. Why am I even subjecting myself to that? I get it. Y'all was on a boat. You know what I'm saying? She got invited to the party, but she's an outsider. She's not in the circle. She's not one of the regular girls or something like that. Y'all on a different level. Y'all should have a different level of access. It's only certain if that's your thing, if that's your vice, women, that's your vice. Yo, bro, you should have access to a different level of women. There's a line we gotta draw. There's a line we gotta draw. You get to that level, how come you never hear, these other guys that that are bachelors that's up there in these situations? It's because they're very discreet with the type of company they keep. And I think that's the issue. I think that's the issue at this point. You know what I'm saying? He didn't do nothing wrong. He didn't do nothing wrong, but you know what I'm saying? The fact that she was even able to access him, hey, you want
to know it's funny. My apologies. I'll get this off my chest. One, I agree with what you said 100%. But however, I am happy that he did keep those receipts. Obviously, he's no stranger to anything like this. So obviously, he's much wiser He's definitely way ahead of a lot of celebrities that just don't learn from other people's mistakes. So obviously, I'm happy he kept all those text messages, voicemails, and all. It's almost like, okay, I slept with her. I know I got to keep all this information, just in case this happens. So, one, good for her. I'm happy that he was able to, because Chris Brown already has enough going on. This is the last thing that he needed. But to your point too, his vice is probably women. You're Chris Brown. I'm pretty sure most women will see you and throw themselves at you, right? And when I say most women, we know the type of women we're discussing, right? Not most women. But I do agree with you. There should be some sort of, hey, sign this contract, because they have to know from the jump. I think maybe he does it in the way that he does it, maybe if they do try to do this, they look stupid as hell at the end of the day. And it is a funny way, I guess, to do it, because she does look like an asshole now. But there needs to be some sort of contract signed. There has to be a higher level of women that he deals with. But look, maybe that's just an aspect of him that won't change, because he's from the block, he's from the hood. You see a beautiful woman, it doesn't matter how elevated she is, how discreet she is. If it's something that you want, she has a crazy body, he's going to take it. Again, it really comes down to, it's sad that it even has to come to that. But again, this comes back to protecting yourself. And Chris Brown did a really good job of protecting himself. He kind of stayed quiet for a little bit, to the point where she went and got a lawyer and did all of this nonsense. And now, once he's dropping all of these receipts, the lawyer dropped her. She's like, whoa, I didn't know about no text messages or no voicemails. Yeah, I'm gonna have to walk away from this case. So, again, this woman should be, should be ashamed of herself, because one, you're trying to destroy that person's life. Two, you take away so much from your fellow women that are actually going through it, that are scared to speak up, that can't speak up for whatever reason. Or when they do speak up, especially when it's against someone of power, it just gets put on deaf ears, or they get silenced. So it's pathetic. And Chris Brown, I think, is trying to sue her now, or whatever the case is. Put her under the jail. Give her a solid.
No, he's not.
He's not. He's not doing that no more.
No, he's not trying.
Oh, he is.
He's not trying.
He should.
He is.
Oh, he should. He should. He definitely should.
He is. Because again, to piggyback off of what Jimmy said, Jimmy, you're 100% right. Like, you got to protect yourself, right? Especially like this. Dudes that are making a certain amount of money, like, you become a target. The higher you go up that echelon, and don't get me wrong, he's in the top echelon. We're nowhere near him. But you got to protect yourself. Even dudes that are doing decent, okay, if you're like making like 100K or over 100K or 150K a year, you gotta be careful, gents. Like, there are a lot of people that have their sights on you. Like, as you start moving through the tax brackets, and people start knowing like what you do, kind of, or they know your background, and they know around how much money you make, you become a target, man. And like, it's dangerous, because this is not the first time it's happened. Remember when Justin Bieber got accused of allegations, and he wasn't even in the country. He was literally at different offenses, and two women came and said, "Oh, he did this, he did that." I'm like, yo, like, thank God that he was actually at events. One, he was at a Met Gala event with Rihanna, and then at Rihanna's after party, where all of these pictures and all these videos were taken. And then before, he was like in Brazil on tour, in concert, in front of people, like in front of his audience. Like, thank God these bros were dumb as hell. But it doesn't matter. Like, once that's out there, it's out on the internet forever. Justin Bieber, blah blah blah, R word, like, and then it's done. It's like, no, people don't even need to know. They're like, oh well, he was mixed up in that stuff, So like, oh, like, you're looked down upon. Yo, you gotta sue these chicks. Like, even if it costs more money than it actually is, even though you're not gonna get it. I think he put 20 million. Like, he sued them for defamation for 20 million. Chris Brown needs to do the same thing. All of them, just go after all of them. Sue them. Even if they got the money, sue them into oblivion. Sue them so that they owe you forever. It doesn't matter if the courts are not going to prosecute
and do things the right way and try to protect these people, sue them into oblivion. Sue them into oblivion and then take everything that they have. It's not right. It's not fair, you know? And again, like I said, boys, protect yourself. Men need to have more discipline over their Johnsons, okay? Like as you elevate, as your mind elevates, as your status elevates, as your money elevates, so should your standards. Your standards. You need to vet these people, vet these chicks. And Jimmy, I 100% agree with you when you say sign a contract. You need to go further though. Video confirmation. Hey, I'm doing this. Yeah, it takes the romance out, but hey, I'm hanging out with Chris Breezy or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And we're going to do this, that, and the third. I consent. What do you call it? Yeah. And anybody that says, "Oh, I don't want to do that," get them out of here. Garbage. Throw them in the garbage with Jussie Smollett. Throw them in the garbage. I don't want you. Get out of here. Trash.
Now, only if they would listen. Only if black men would. Only if they would listen about that. Because that's some good advice right there. A video confirmation that you're willing to do this.
Every time, man.
Sue me after.
Every time. Yo, what happened?
I look at him like.
Go ahead.
Yo, remember what happened to that guy, the comedian, the Indian comedian that plays on Master of None? Master of None. What's his name? The one that was what do you call it? He was
the funny guy. I can't remember.
You talk not Mr. Master of None is not Mr. Bean. Who's that?
No, the Indian gentleman that was on Parks and Recreation.
Oh crap! That's not Kumar. Hold on.
No, not Kumar. The other one.
All this technology
he had like
and struggling.
So what happened was, here's the thing. This was crazy. Like, so he goes out on a date with this chick, right? Not even regular schmegular chick.
Oh, you talking about Aziz? You talking about Aziz?
Yeah, Aziz Ansari. Yes. Thank you, Amo. So they went out on a date, right? Mm-hmm. They go back to his house. Like it's like it's like awkward. Like what do you call it? She goes down on him. He goes down on her. And then she's like, "Oh, I didn't really like it." So he's like, "Okay, I'm gonna try to go down on you." Did that help? And like, it was just weird. Like, she was like, "Yeah, I liked it, but I wasn't sure," and this, that, and the third. And so he's like, "All right, but I really liked you," or whatever. Now, mind you, this is going back and forth. What do you call it? In text messages. She's like, "Well, I didn't really feel like it." And then like she went apparently like she went down on him again like twice. Even after she didn't feel it the first time. And again, sometimes sex with the wrong person is a little awkward. Sometimes I'm not saying that like I'm just saying like sometimes the vibe is just like, oh, it's one thing, and some people like other things, and you just don't match the energy. And this is what it seemed like. It just seemed like an awkward date. Maybe they were drunk or maybe whatever. It wasn't there. But she consented to do this twice, and like he tried to do things, and she took it a few days later or a few weeks later. Some time had passed, and then she was like, "Well, this was I didn't consent to this, and this felt bad, and this felt whatever." And she accused him of the R. Now they threw out the case because clearly she consented on the phone, and like it wasn't that, but he got canceled either way. You didn't see him for 3 years. He lost his show. His show was like one of the top 10 shows or top 15 shows on Netflix, making I think he fumbled. I think he lost like 30 million from it. Dude, ridiculous. And he just came back after like 3 years. And even when he came back, he was like apologizing for it. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. You gotta protect yourself, man. They're not that important. I'm just gonna say it. These chicks are not as important, right? The right ones are gonna come up for you. The ones that you're gonna marry and you're gonna love or forever, but a lot of these, they trash, and they're nothing but headaches, man.
They're here for the
they're in for the come up. And even this one wasn't even a come up chick. This is just a weird date. Like we've all been on like weird dates or weird like encounters, or we've had like weird awkward kisses that were like, didn't really like that, and then you moved away. This just seems like one of those things. And she even admitted like, "Oh, I'm sorry, blah blah blah, BS. Get out of here, man. protect yourself. If he would have held himself in a higher regard and he would have protected himself, he would still have this show. He would still have this show. He's like, look, she said this in the video. She wanted to do it. There's nothing to say. Unfortunately, this is just the way we're going. Like as technology gets better, as all of these things start coming to light, people start understanding things. This is just the next step. Protect yourself at all costs, baby. Like the octagon.
Yeah, and it's really key to the one thing, and obviously I think all males here will agree around the world, whoever's watching, is we need to start thinking with this and not below the belt, right? Because I think a lot of us, and I could speak from my own upbringing, growing up in Brooklyn and everything. A lot of it is ego. A lot of it is competition. It's how many girls can you get. There was all of these games here. The number game is how I like to call it. And not all women are worth sleeping with. Not all women are worth the trouble that comes with it.
100%.
Like an example is, you might know she has a crazy boyfriend, but because she's beautiful and because you want that, I slept with his girl energy. You think for all of that, you're saying, you know what, it's worth the risk that he finds out and then I actually get my ass kicked. It's worth that risk, or worse, or
it's worth the headache. Sometimes
it's not worth the headache.
But never worth the headache.
In our youth, I will say in our youth, I expect that behavior a little bit better because, you're a little horny boy. We have we're dealing with our situation. We want to smash every little thing that's walking left, right, up, down. But I think as you grow up and you become a man, you start to realize like, maybe dealing with her wasn't really worth that. You start to actually look for a little more in the women that you deal with and a level of class. Like for me, obviously I'm married, so I'm not looking for anything. But let's say if I wasn't married anymore and, I was back into the market, you think I'm entertaining the females that I was entertaining at 17, 18, 19, where all they care about is getting their nails done, getting shoes from you. And, you give them a little money. That's a transaction. That's there's a P word for that. But that's transactional. The stage that I'm in as a man now is like, I don't let him take priority in how I move around. It's sort of like, what else? What else is there to offer? So I think for men, we need to do a whole lot better. I get it. She can be as pretty as she wants. But the minute she opens her mouth and there's something that screams danger, alert to what she's saying to you, how she carries herself, I think that should play an important role. And like I say, the male celebrities, contracts, video contracts, like Q said, whatever it is that it takes to protect your goddamn self, it has to happen, man.
And Jim, can I jump in? I have to disagree with you, man. When it comes to like, I know what you mean too, because I said the same thing. Like, you give a pass to like our younger youth guys. No. Start teaching your young men from young. Like black men are just not sex objects, because there's like a view that we've these dudes mandingos and all the this that, like no. Dudes have to learn from young, no matter from young. Discipline. Bust off at the moon, man. Bust off at the moon if you have to, man. All right. Masturbation is a great thing. It's a great act. It's a great pastime. Leave it alone. It's not worth it. It's not. I'm saying it's not worth it.
No, it's not. Yeah.
Nah, man. Get in touch with yourself, man. One hand at a time. Follow 5 children. Period. No. I don't care if you're 13, 14, you're just coming into it. No. Learn discipline. None of them are worth your energy. Like, really, like your penis should be a privilege. Mine is, because I'm telling you right now, any chick that gets put into this bedroom it's your pleasure, because most of them are just starfish anyway. You just hang out there. All right, they're starfish. They don't do nothing anyway. All right, I'm the one that's putting in the work. All right, so it's a pleasure to have me, because I'm going to get you to the promised land. And more men, I'm serious. I know I'm joking, but I know it's funny, but I'm serious. Like, you have to look at yourself in a higher standard, man. You are. You know, you do. Black men, they're the best. I think we're the best dudes on the planet, man. Listen, according to all metrics, right? Sports and everything. You have like what do you call it? I think we're the best now. I'm not no offense to any of these white dudes out there, Asian dudes that think, oh, my nation. Listen, I'm just being biased. So take this as me being biased. I just think we're the greatest, right? We're the greatest in bed too. That should be a privilege that somebody a woman earns. All right, don't just dole it out. Okay, please. Trust me. The more the more product is kept from the market, the more what do you call it? The higher the value. The higher the value it gets.
Mm-hmm. No, it's true. That's a crazy point. Yeah, we definitely need to value our bodies a little bit more because, like I said, thinking with the Johnson is just like, and women control sex, right? They control what happens, like if it's going down or not.
100%.
And which is why the bad women use that as a tool to manipulate the male. Like, okay, you want this is what you have to do. And then it's sort of, like I said, it becomes like a transactional thing, or they can manipulate you to do a whole bunch of different other things. So it's like, if you do have that self-discipline from the beginning of time, it's like, okay, it's not like having sex with you is gonna guarantee me a ticket to heaven. You understand what I'm saying? Like most
of the time it doesn't. Most of the time it's a waste of your time.
he said like a starfish. I'm still crying over that.
Bro, it's a starfish. They just lay there.
They just lay there. No, it is, and men need to start looking at that. You know, I used to say it as a joke, but I'm like, listen, you'd be lucky if you could catch me. And girls would look at me like, oh, please shut up. You know, and I'm like, okay, you probably don't understand because there's so many guys. They can just call a guy right now and be like, hey, come over. Most likely he's going to get up and come. How many guys right now outside of being a celebrity can pick up a phone and just call any girl in there and be like, hey, you know what? I know you're in the friend zone, but I want to sleep with you. It could only go the other way.
Yeah, Jimmy. Even celebrities can't do that. Even celebrities don't have that don't have that privilege. Even male celebrities don't have that privilege. Actually, it's not that easy. I mean, it's easier, but it's not.
Actually, okay.
But it's easier for them to access the one night stands.
Celebrities like they have access to that kind of stuff. They have different access. We can't. There's networks they can call to get that stuff done. We can't do that.
But
we're regular ordinary Joes.
The problem with those women, the problem with those women, Jimmy, is like they what do you call it? They confuse quantity with quality, and there's a big difference. There's a big difference, all right? Just because you can get 1 million dudes to like you and to mess with you, that does not mean you have the quality dudes. Like you said, you're a catch. That means that's some real stuff, man. That's some real stuff right there. Like, are you a catch? Like, are you like, you know, like if the dude I'm with, like, you got to think, like, well, if I get pregnant, is he the right dude for me? You can get 1 million dudes in the DMs, man. There's 1 million thirsty dudes all day, every day. Thinking with that. I mean, again, I guess that's just part of the nature of us, right? Just to like get after. And again, I don't blame women. You should be selective, 100%. You should be very selective with who you let in your body, but don't what do you call it? Don't misrepresent the two, all right? Because the dude that you want forever and the dude that you want that you can get for right now, or the dudes you can get for right now, two totally different things, my man. Hey, can I smoke?
Of course, man. Light your gar up, man. Gentlemen, is there anyone else with any final thoughts? I think the theme here is, especially with all these accusations and everything that's going on, I think it's definitely protect yourself
at all times.
You know, another key message that I took from, you know, the first thing that we discussed was, you know, knowing how to act in a situation, not overreacting, even if you know you have the right. Staying calm, learning to stay calm and understand the situation isn't beneficial to you in the scenario that you're in. You have to understand, even if you're right, it's not beneficial. Learn to live to fight for another day. You know, do not use the culture for your own gain when you fuck up. That's another thing I think we pulled from one of the stories here. And,
Jesse, accountability.
Yeah, I keep calling him Jussie, but I don't want to call him.
Jussie Smollett.
Yeah.
Jussie narcissist.
I can't pronounce that man's name for nothing, but
Jussie Smollett.
Jussie Smollett, look.
Jussie.
Look, I mean, unfortunately, man, I don't even care to know how to pronounce your name now at this point because it's sort of you let us down, man. So
Garbage. He's trash.
I'd rather focus on those that are trying to elevate, like your boy Ryan Coogler here, handling
Ryan
himself.
Coogler,
Yeah, handling himself like a king. Chris Brown, good job, sir. Good job. And again, Deshaun Watson, I'm happy for you. Hopefully you have that continued success and you can get out of Texas. But those are sort of my final thoughts on the situation.
Yeah, that's it. I think that's it.
That's it. You think you got everything?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
what the comments looking like? What's the comments looking like?
Oh, yeah, we do have a few comments, actually. Look, I need to be paying attention, man. I'm so lost in y'all dialogue, you know what I'm saying?
But like I said, man, like I call you boys kings for a reason. If you hear somebody calling you king, listen, it's for a reason. Like, all right, what does a king do, man? He protects his kingdom, all right? But no matter if it's a one-bedroom apartment or if you have like a row of houses that you want, protect your kingdom, all right? You don't let the peasants come into the kingdom. Don't let the wenches come in. You protect your kingdom with high walls, all right, and strong gates, okay? Keep the riffraff out, boys, all right? Especially now, black men are on the come up, okay? The statistics don't lie. 64% of black men are in the middle class, all right? So it's not, you can't lie. You can't say that, we're all a failure. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. All right. 54% of black men are single and childless. So we don't have a million baby mamas running around. That is not us. That is a lie. Right. So what does that tell you? That tells you that we are the guys. Even the CDC wrote an article stating that black men are the most involved with out of all the races of men in America. They're the most involved with their family. They're the best to raise children with. So whatever BS you hear or what everybody tells you, all of this stuff like black men ain't nothing, they ain't nothing. That is a lie, okay? For the majority, that is a lie. Because the majority of black men aren't down with that F stuff, okay? And it's not. They're not. 85% of black men are married to black women, okay? Don't get it twisted. And they live with their families. Don't get it twisted. Whatever they're painting out in these TV streets and these media and on your phone, it's not the real thing. We are the ish, my brothers. Let's act like it.
Amen. B, you have any gospel for us, man? Before we go,
preach the word.
Self-control, and remember your standards. Have some standards, gentlemen. Have some standards, ladies. Standards, and watch who you do. Watch your circle. If you deal with a ratchet crowd, eventually you get caught up in some mess doing something that you shouldn't be doing.
100%.
If you get caught in per se, this time Chris Brown got out of the situation, it's improved. What per se, if he keeps doing it going the same way he's doing it, he's gonna get caught up in some mess and he might not have evidence this time. If you don't want that issue, your standards must change. You must elevate how you are. You are Chris Brown. Know who you are. You are Deshaun Watson. You cannot get massages from girls from Instagram. You cannot get massages from girls from Facebook. You cannot get massages from girls from Craigslist. There are massage parlors. The team offers you physical therapy. Massage from Team Massage. Get it from the team. Therefore, you avoid problems. Jussie Smollett needs to be thrown under the jail. Under the jail, leave him there. Forget about him. He's trash. That's my thoughts on all these topics.
Well said, B. Well said, my brother.
Thank you.
What the comments saying? Anything good in the comments?
I've been posting them, man. I mean, we had a few great comments, man, but more will come along later on, and we can address them on the next episode real quick. But gentlemen, listen, it's been a pleasure. I thank you guys for joining us tonight. Again, man, great dialogue. It's always a pleasure to have you guys. Unfortunately, my co-host, he had a few, he's a father, husband as well, so he had a few family things to take care of, and he's running around. So shout out to my boy Dice. But great episode, man. Thanks everybody for tuning in, coming in to watch the show. Your comments, your likes, your shares. Don't forget to subscribe. And hopefully next time you guys will be willing to join the conversation. We could throw you right here on the screen with us, and we could chop it up. And with that being said, until next time.
At this time, I'm going to ask you to fasten your seatbelts.
Look.
Great show, boys.